OPR is unchanged and yet moratorium ended in September. How will this impact the property market? All right, so today will be this will be the topic, and a little bit introduction about this Charles. All right, so Charles is the founder cum executive editor of this copyandproperty.com. This copyandproperty.com is a leading independent property blog in Malaysia. So you guys can just go to the Google and type there copyandproperty.com, and you guys can go to the website and then find out more in the website as well. All right. So in 2019, he was invited to speak in 52 real estate events within Malaysia and internationally, including Reda, Shah Reda, all right, Sheda, Star Property, iProperty Group, Property Guru, InSpan, as well as developer events. A lot of these big events. All right. And thirdly, his articles and views have appeared in many national newspapers, magazines, property listing portals. All right, he has also appeared in TV shows speaking about this property investment and has been a judge for a property award show. All right, he was also assistant producer for the Property Hot Seat. The show name Property Hot Seat, show in Bernama News Channel. All right. So lastly, Charles is also a licensed auctioneer and is a CEO of 10 auctioneers Sdn Bhd. He has conducted auctions for properties, banknotes, and even special plate numbers. All right. So if you like Charles sharing, so do follow him at this the Facebook. The Facebook, you can just type copy and property at the search tab there, and we will go through all the page. All right. Okay. So without further ado, we invite Charles to our floor and just to share his knowledge to us. All right. Hello, hi Charles. Good afternoon.
Hello. Can you hear me well?
Yes, good.
Okay, good.
All right, can you hear me as well? The sound is quite good.
Very well. You're very clear. Yep.
All right, that's good. So yeah, happy you're here to sharing with us about knowledge in property market and also maybe some option or questions as well. Yeah. So how are you today, Charles? Everything good?
Yeah, good. Just had my lunch.
Okay.
Now a
Had
bit.
your lunch. All right, great. All right, great. Good to hear that. Okay, so without further ado, maybe we just quickly start about our interview session. Is that okay for you?
Sure.
All right, that's good. Okay, so for the first question, right, Charles, because Charles, this is the first time that you are joining the investment blog for the live interview, and I'm sure that our audience, our fans, they are quite curious about your background. Would you mind to telling about how and why did you create this copy and property?
Okay. So copyandproperty.com is an independent property blog. So I am not working with developer. I am not a real estate agent. So I don't own an agency. I do not have a rent tag. I do not do mortgage broking as well. So if you have loan which you cannot get approved, no need to come to me as well. Basic idea is very simple. I just share my investment experience as well as all the conversations I have with all these property experts. And what I share is what I think is correct. So that is how I share. And how this got started about nearly 7 years ago. By end of November, it will be 7 years. So nearly 7 years ago, I was on a hospital bed. Yeah, so unfortunate, right? So after the operations, have nothing to do, sit on the bed. So I started this blog. Yeah, that's how the Copy and Property blog started. In the beginning, I write about the copy article as well. But no one reads the copy articles. Everyone just read the property articles. So in the end, yeah, just continue the property articles. And after a while, I realized that the number of visits actually keep increasing. So I continue writing. Right now, there's about 4,400 articles in Copy and Property. You can even search for any keywords. You will get all the articles. Yeah, 99% will be written by me. 1% by friends, by some property experts and things like that. Yeah.
All right. So that's good. A little bit means our fans will know about a little bit about you and also the copy. Yeah, just one. Do you mind to share about what happened? What happened to you last time when you were in bed? What was actually happening? Yeah. Just a quick sharing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, kidney stone operation.
All right. So sad. So now fully recovered already lah.
Yeah, so fully recovered. So what you do is that you keep drinking watermelon juice and pineapple juice, and you'll be just fine. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So everything good to you. All right. So okay. So Charles, let's go to the second questions. So what do you think of the current property market? Because this is quite I mean it's quite low now, right?
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
do you think about this? Yeah.
Yeah, so if we look at statistics, right? So for the first half this year, actually the transaction for the first half this year versus first half last year dropped tremendously, right? So dropped a lot, it close 30%. So if your business dropped 30%, is like, you know, you should be closing down your business now, right? However, if we look at the actual number, residential property transactions alone still above 75,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, property transaction first half, just first half, still above 75,000. So this tells you that the demand for property actually continue. However, if you are talking about investing, right, all these investing people are actually take a look and see attitude right now. So they are still not sure whether they should come in or not. The 75,000, actually, if you look at the statistics, it tells you a very good picture. All those people who are buying home is because they need a home. Because at current market, I'm not sure whether there's anyone who wants to go in and be a flipper or speculator. I think they will all die, right? But if you need a home, you found a home and this developer give you a good price, or you found the secondary market where the owner is willing to sell you 10% below market, actually, I think you should go ahead. So the property market, if you look at it from a buyer perspective, that means I want to buy for a home. I want to buy for an upgrade. Actually, this is a very good market. But if you look at the overall transaction, then yes, this is a pretty bad market because the first half down 30%. Yeah, depends on how you want to look at it.
I see. That's great. I mean, it's a good sharing from you for the property market. But just why you use the 75,000 for the data as a benchmark there?
Yeah, so 75,000 is the data from NAPIC. It is for residential, which means that people who are buying a home, right? So this is not office or factory. Basic idea is to tell us that the demand for property is still there, because many of us always think that now property market is so bad, no one is buying, everyone is dying. Actually, it's not true. First half alone is 75,000, right? So if you look at 75,000 first half, that means every month more than 10,000 units, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, every month itself, right? And just if you want to have another perspective, the so-called unsold unit, or they say overhang units, right? Actually,
Yeah.
overhang units is lower than 75,000, which tells you a very, very good picture. If people really have no other choice and they only buy the overhang units, right? Actually, the overhang units already finished. That is how big the demand is. And this is the current slow market. Remember, from March until May, we cannot buy anything. Remember, everyone was staying at
Yes.
home. Lawyer
Yes.
office was closed. Land office was closed. Yeah, because even for me, during that period, I missed three auctions by the land office, by the high court. All were postponed until after the MCO. Yeah.
I see. All right. So yeah. So it's I mean our audience can know about this current market property, so you guys can take note from there. So the property market for the residents is quite normal for now lah. Okay, we say quite normal. So yeah, for the third question, right, Charles? I read about your article and about how you differentiate people into three groups: could buy, can buy, and need to buy. Would you share
Yeah.
with us who falls into these three categories and what they should do if they are interested in this property?
Yeah, so this article, right, came from all these people who talk to me all the time. You know, that I have some friends who tell me that I'm going to buy, and after 10 years they are still telling me I'm going to buy, right? And then there are those people who bought a property and then come and ask me, "Hey, this one can buy or not?" I look at her, actually it's her. I look at her and say, "You bought already. Now you ask me for what?" So if I tell you, very bad buy, then you feel bad, you cannot sleep, and so on, right? Actually,
Yes.
there's the could buy, can buy, and need to buy. So what is could buy? Could buy means you can actually afford to buy, right? can buy means, yeah, I can buy, I can buy, but I may not be able to afford, right? Then the need to buy. Need to buy is like, for example, me, right? So when I first got married, long time ago, so I got married long time ago, right? My father-in-law says, where will you and my daughter stay after you got married? I said, I will rent a home. So I was renting a room. I tell him that after we got married, I will rent a home, right? I rent a room. Now I rent a home. Good, right?
Yeah.
He looked at me and he said, it's best to buy a home, right? So this is like a need to buy lah, right? If I don't buy, then how to get married, right? Of course, this is not the only thing. For example, you both of you and your wife are staying in a Soho unit, for example, right? And your baby is coming. Be serious. You need a bigger house. When you have baby and you stay in Soho, then you understand what I meant, right? You definitely need a bigger house. So you need to buy lah, right? Or your mother-in-law, the neighbor next door wants to migrate and now wants to sell the house. You tell me, buy or no buy? Next to your mother-in-law, where you go for dinner every day, buy or no buy? You have no choice, one. You better buy, because that unit once go away, then you will stay somewhere. It's not beside your mother-in-law. So this is a need to buy lah. However, if you look at the market today, right, there are people who are overstretching themselves a little bit. Why I say so is because a lot of the time when we can afford a 500,000 property, right? So when we can afford 500,000 property, what do? We try and stretch it to 550. We tell the bank officer, can I can qualify for 500,000. I surely can do a bit more than 550. Yeah, when we overstretch, right, that is the problem. Because as soon as the market slow down a little bit, like now, COVID-19, right, we our pay is cut 30% or 50%. Then suddenly we realize we cannot afford anymore. Yeah. If you intend to invest in property, buy a home, for example, if you can afford 500,000 property, go for 400,000. Because the term home sweet home, right? What is your home sweet home today? What is your home sweet home today?
Stay with the street together, maybe stay with your wife, your girlfriend together.
Yeah. Correct. So you see, today your home sweet home may be a place which have facility, right? But actually, when you earn more money, your home sweet home may be a bungalow with a swimming pool. You understand? This is the reason why there's no need to overstretch ourselves. I've moved home many times, from a 730 square feet apartment to a 1,258 square feet apartment to a 1,100 square feet apartment to a 1,700 square feet. I have moved a lot of times. I can tell you the dream home will continue to change, right? So probably in 2022, I will move house again to a place which I have thought about it lah. So 2022, I'll tell you where I move. But you can see that the home sweet home, the term in my mind, home sweet home continue to change, because that home that I love and I can afford at that time is a much smaller one. But the home that I can afford today is a bigger one. The home that I can afford 2 years later is even bigger. Yeah. By the way, this is not a COVID-19 whatever. This is a marathon 10-kilometer run. Yeah. There's no tag. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. So yeah, I think a lot of our fans and our listener, they will know how to differentiate between these three. Okay. So by the way, you know that during these tough times, right, our government, they came up with this initiative to help the property market, like a Penjana incentive. Do you
Yeah.
think is it useful for this property market? And you think is it effective enough to boost up the whole property market?
Yeah. So if you if you look at what Radar Chairman said recently, right? It seems that the HOC, the home ownership campaign, is not that successful, right? From what he said, it is not that successful because he has all the numbers. I do not have the numbers, but he said it's not that successful. It depends on how we want to look at Penjana, because you just imagine if there's no Penjana, right? There's no Penjana. what will happen to the property market? I think it will be even worse, right?
Even worse. Yes.
Yes, definitely it's even worse, because Penjana was trying to push it up, but even if Penjana did not manage to push it up as much as Penjana wanted, Penjana has stopped it from going down even further. This is a very, very important point that many people missed out. They may think, oh, Penjana is not successful. Actually, I dare not think if, a few months ago we have no Penjana. Actually, I dare not think. I think right now the market is going to be even worse without the Penjana. Yeah. So a few things like is the Penjana will have HOC, which they are trying to push for the first-time home buyers to buy property. They will have the loan to value, where instead of 30%, you now can also have 10% as long as the bank approve you, even for the third property, for the fourth property. This one basically helps to take in the people who can buy another property, right? But because many times, if this is my third property, I will need to fork out 30%, and the property is 500,000. Where can I find 150,000? You understand? But if you tell me you want to buy another property, sure, go and buy. And now deposit is just 10%. Okay, fine. 10% is fine. But 50%, not that many people, right? So this is one of the ways to get more people to buy the property. And then there's also the RPGT exemption. So now if I sell a property, even if it was 3 years ago, I still don't get any RPGT. Even if 6 years ago, I still don't get the 5%, which is levied on any property transaction, right? So this one basic idea is to allow all these people who wanted to sell the property to sell the property. So instead of just the developer selling their primary property, these people who own a house, but they don't want to pay tax, right? They want to sell the property, but they don't want to pay the 5% tax. They will sell the property now, right? So secondary market also more supply. The developer also can sell. So a lot of choices for all the buyers in the market lah. So this is some of the things that is being done today. And of course, my good friend actually trying to sell his property because there's no RPGT right now. Yeah.
I see. All right, that's great sharing from Charles about these questions, because I think a lot of people, they don't think about this part where they all think, a majority of them, they think about this Penjana may be not really useful for the whole property market. So I believe that today all our fans will got some this idea from here, from Charles as well. All right. So yeah, Charles, the next question is like the OPR is unchanged, and yet the moratorium is ending. So how does this affect the whole property market?
Yes. So OPR, right? I'm not sure whether enough people understand how the OPR works or not. But on very briefly, very briefly, when the economy is running very well, the interest rate is usually increased. Okay, why is the economy running very well, interest rate increase? Is because this is a form of monetary policy, which you do not want people to simply speculate. When the economy is doing well, property market is doing well, stock market is doing well, right? So you usually take all your money and put in the stock market, put in the property market. Actually it's speculation already, because it's already going up very fast, right? The interest rate is increased so that people will think, stock market maybe not so good because my interest rate so high. So they take out the money, they put in FD, right? So the economy still grow, but not like crazy growing, right? And this is the reason. So when the economy slows down, right, why reduce the interest rate? Because very simple. If you have FD in the bank, right, your FD pays you 4%. Right? So my FD actually paid me 4.whatever% last time, right? Right. Today, my same FD pays me 2% or lower, right? So if I have FD and it is now paying me 2%, I think I will take some amount out and then buy property, or take some amount out and then buy stock market, right? And this actually helps to generate the economy, because money in FD actually doesn't help the economy lah. Money in the stock market, money in the property market helps the economy. Money in the business, which is expanding, opening more shops, that is helping the economy, right? So this is the reason why OPR was reduced 3 times this year itself. Now, September, everyone said OPR may be reduced. Actually, at that time, I already said OPR, hopefully OPR is not reduced further, right? Actually, OPR reduced or no reduced is a very good sign to the market. If the economy starts to move, there's no need to move the OPR for now. Only if the economy keep weakening and keep dropping, then you continue to reduce the OPR. You get my meaning? Because if the market is moving, you just let the market move by itself. Because OPR is like an extra push. At the moment, you do not need the extra push. Yeah. So this is what the Bank Negara is anticipating. But of course, that was before the current new third wave of COVID-19. So we have no idea whether this will affect the economy, and then they may need to reduce the OPR. But as of September, actually their thought is that the economy is already moving. And if you look at the all the forecasts from anyone at all, World Bank, IMF, Asian Development Bank, and anyone at all, actually ASEAN will have an economic growth next year. Malaysia would have probably 6%, 5.6% next year, which means that it's going to grow. So this is the anticipation, right? All the OPR, whether goes up or come down, actually is based on a future anticipation. So if they anticipate the future economy to be going down, they will reduce the rate now. If they anticipate 6 months later the economy is going up, they will maintain the OPR. If they see the economy is going to go very fast, they will increase the interest rate. Yeah. So this is a very, very general, a very brief macroeconomics for everyone. Because many times we think interest rate up, more money, interest rate down, less money. Actually, it's just economics. Just economics. So if any readers here or any listeners here who are economics, I think you understand what I meant. But those people who don't know economics also fine, because I just explained to you the dynamics, how it actually moves. Of course, macroeconomics also got the fiscal policy as well, not just monetary, but that is another story. Next time you interview me, I'll tell you more. Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So thanks for these answers. But how about moratorium? About how it affect the property market?
Yeah. So moratorium for the last 6 months. So from March until end of September, right? There was moratorium, and the government says, okay, can be extended, right? Can be extended. They did not say all extend. It says can be extended for 3 months. That means end of the year, if you qualify. No, they don't say if you qualify. They say if you qualify and the bank approve you, right? So the bank has to approve you before you can extend the moratorium. For the good news, right? Good news. 98% of people who apply got extension. That means 100 people who call the bank and say, hey, I cannot pay. Can you extend or not? 98% get the extension, right? So technically, there is still moratorium today, technically, right? Unless you say you qualify for the moratorium, but you never apply. That one, I cannot help you because banks already tell you, please apply. If you need, please apply, right? So if you say, what's the effect to the market? The 2% people, the 2% who did not get it, they will affect the market. But you must understand, the 2% will not approve, may not be because they are bad, they may be because they are good. That's why they cannot approve, right? They have a job. They have back their income. So bank won't approve one. You need to show that I'm out of job, my business is not doing well, right? Then I can get the extension. I have a job. I have back my salary. I cannot approve you lah. Definitely I cannot approve you, right? So at the moment, if you say moratorium, actually moratorium sort of technically extended lah, right? Because 98% apply, 100% apply, 98% got approval until end of the year. So at the moment, there's no big effects from the moratorium yet lah, at the moment, right? And this is good for the market because actually we do not want ups and downs to the market lah. And one more thing about this moratorium, right? If you are the bank, right? Let's say you are the bank. Do you want to extend or do you want to take back the property from me? You think about it. If you are the bank, what do you think?
Extend.
Extend, or? Yeah. Actually, if you really think about it, right? If I'm the bank, and I realize Charles cannot pay, I will not take back Charles' property, you know. I will not. I will tell Charles, tell me, by end of the year, can you pay or not? Charles say, okay, by end of the year, I can start paying. I, as a bank, will extend until end of the year. You know why? Because even assuming that property is 500,000, Charles is paying me 2,500 every month. I extend 3 months. What is the thing that I lost? I lost time, and I lost 2,500, 2,500, 2,500. Right? Correct. I don't lose anything else, you know. Just the 2,500, 2,500, 2,500 for 3 months. I still get it at the end, right? So I lost 7,500. Now, if I take back the property from Charles, now I take the 500,000 property, right? I need to go auction, correct or not?
Yes.
Right? I take back Charles cannot pay. I grab the property from Charles and I go to auctioneer. And I call this auctioneer called Charles. Hey, Charles, you auction this property for me. Frankly speaking, do you think that property can sell for 500,000?
No.
Or do you think the property will sell 450, 410, 420?
No.
Yeah. It will not sell at 500,000. It may sell at 450,000, for example, right? So if it sold at 450,000, how much has the bank lost?
50,000.
50,000, yeah. Cuckoo, right? I might as well extend you. Then I lost time and the 2,500, 2,500, 2,500, correct? Right? Maybe from January you can start paying already. I'm so safe. I take back the property. I go and sell at auction. The only one who is happy is the auctioneer because auctioneer get the auctioneer fee But actually everyone else suffer one. The owner also suffer because the auction will not get the high price. So in the end, he will still be bankrupt. Right? And the bank will still lose money because it will not reach the market valuation, will not. Yeah. So this is the thing which is happening, right? And of course, if you say, so is the bank happy to keep extending? No, if the bank keep extending, bank will also die. Because you see, you don't pay the bank, right? But the bank still have to pay the staff. All the staff still get their salary. So that is something which is between two rock, right? But if you say extend until end of the year, I think it still makes sense. Yeah. And maybe extend until next June. Doesn't really make sense at the moment. Extend until next end year, I think still makes financial sense for everyone, not just the owner, also for the banks. Yeah.
All right. Oh, very good explanation from Charles about these questions. Although the question is very short, but hope everyone's got these ideas from Charles as well, for especially this moratorium part. All right. So yeah, let's move to the another questions. So most of the residential property around us are pricey, right? Like property in this KL or Penang are very expensive for youngsters, especially below 30. They couldn't afford it. So what advice do you have for this youngster who are late in 20s with limited funds, but they're interested to buy their first home?
Yeah. I think the first advice I want to give to everyone is please be realistic, right? Please be realistic. When my wife and I first started to buy our first property, it is an apartment, 700 square feet, in an area which everybody asked me this same question again. Why you buy that area? Why you buy that area? When I bought the area in year 2002, everyone was asking me again and again. When I tell them about my apartment, they say, "Ayo, so small." When I tell them about the area, they ask me, "Ayo, why buy that area? Why shouldn't you buy some other areas?" Be realistic, Be realistic. If you are just starting, like me at that time, right? Stop thinking about condo. You are not going to be able to afford a condo. But you go to all the property leasing site, whether it's iProperty, Property Guru, Star Property, you just key in 350,000 and below. There are still choices one. Secondary market, right? Further a little bit, right? Does not look that good anymore, look very old, right? Yeah, still available. To park 3 cars in the house, cannot. 1 car, still available.
Yes.
Further away, instead of walking to office, now you have to drive to office, still available, but you need to manage your expectation, right? And by the way, if you try to look for this property and you cannot find anything, then yeah, get ready. The market is about to crash, right? Because one clear sign that the market is crashing is when all the properties are expensive, then it will crash. Today, why people say market will crash from year 2013 stay until today, right? Market still doesn't crash because the availability of the property. Remember the 75,000 transaction in the first half, 80% are secondary market. 80%, 80, not primary, 80 are secondary property, 80%, which tells you that there are lots and lots and lots of choices, whether you want or not, right? Even for example, today, the new properties, right? You buy somewhere in this Sri Kembangan, you buy somewhere in Rawang, for example, you can still get below $500,000 for landed properties, still can get, right? Or you buy older leasehold property in Cheras, for example, still can get. But don't say, "Ayah, see the house looks so old. Ayah, you know the road looks so old. Ayah, see the drain so dirty." Come on, ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice, right? In many countries, actually there's no choice one. In many countries, you just go online, read about some countries, and you understand. Actually, there's no choice one, whether you want it or not, right? Even in some countries where the government is giving you the affordable house, right? You think you have a choice? They build here, they give you here, you take here lah. What do you want? You understand or not? Right? Today is different. Today we have a choice, right? So this is a very important point. And second point, actually, it's not you cannot afford, It's because all the money is spent elsewhere. So many times we think, yeah, I cannot afford. Actually, it's not I cannot afford, right? Can you stop drinking Starbucks for 1 month and you realize, wow, so much savings? Can you stop smoking for 1 month? Wow, so much savings. Can you stop taking the installment to buy a smartphone of 4,500 ringgit? Can you just get that 500 ringgit smartphone? Will it kill you? Actually, no lah. No, seriously, right? So I was fixing my phone just now. I saw a Wiko model, quad core, don't know what model, but only 299. I asked, can use or not? The person say, you do not want to show off, can use lah. So this is the story, There's a 299. There's a 4,005. I think you know what model is that lah. 4,005. Why must you buy the 4,005? To show off? Actually, to show off can only last for 1 week. You see, when you buy the newest model, right? You go to office, wow, everyone wants to take a look. After 1 week, still got people, wow, still want to take a look on that. No. Nobody. So you bought the 4,005 to show off for 1 week. Are you so sad? And then I have a ex-colleague who told me his neighbor, he stays in a flat, his neighbor opposite him, every night he sees the neighbor eating bread and drinking water. Every night. You know what the neighbor drives? A BMW. Yeah. Right? So it depends on where you want to spend the money lah. And many times, I think the when we spend the money wrongly, then of course definitely we will not have the money to buy property lah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So youngster from this our audience. So hope you guys got some ideas from some advice from Charles today, sharing about how to afford a property at a tough time with our limited funds. All right. Okay. So let's move to the next questions. So yeah, Charles, what are your thoughts about this secondary property market? Is it worth for investing?
Yeah. So I think I explained a little bit earlier, but secondary property market is definitely a good market, right? The reason is because a lot of the times, right, when if we go back to psychology, we go back to psychology a little bit. Whenever we buy anything, right, we want to feel good, right? Do you want to buy anything which you don't feel good about? You want to feel good, right? Every one of us, right? The new smartphone, you also want to hold it, right? You want to scroll it and you want to see, oh, nice, take some photo. You want to feel good about it. Then you buy the thing, right? Property also the same, right? You go to any secondary property, right? You may not feel good one, you may not, right? You go to a secondary condo, 15 years already, for example, right? From the outside external building, you see, does not look modern anymore. The paint not so nice anymore. But that condo, which is 15 years, actually is probably 20% below if you compare to a new property, new condo, which will be completed in 2 years' time. When you go to a primary property, you feel good because you go to the sales gallery, ma. The sales gallery put in the nice renovation for you, ma. Right? They have a very handsome salesperson who bring you around, make you feel like a VIP, ma. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you see, wow, lighting so nice. Wow, kitchen cabinet so nice. Actually, this question I always love to ask the person, how much is the renovation? And they will tell me 200,000, they will tell me 300,000. Just the other day, I went to one very nice sales gallery. I said, how much is the renovation? 350,000, right? Ask yourself, are you going to be able to do that renovation or not? If you are not, then what you are seeing that you feel good about is not yours. You are not buying that. You're buying an empty unit, right? This is the reason why many of us, because of this, are willing to spend more money for new property versus a secondary property, right? Of course, please do not be mistaken that secondary is better than primary, because many times people don't understand. If you look at the overall property market, right, there are primary properties which are launched at prices which are very close to the market price today. Okay, and those are very, very worth buying because they are launching at the market price of today, but they're going to be completed 2 years later. Can you imagine or not? Right? So you imagine the price slowly goes up also. By the time it's completed, the price that you bought actually is very, very value for money. Right? But of course, this is the reason why when we do any decision at all, do a comparison chart before we make any decision. And then we realize, okay lah, the facade of the condo not so new, can lah, as long as the inside the unit, no water dripping down, everything works well. Even though the gym looks old, but all the equipments are there. Even though the swimming pool is no longer look so new, but it's Olympic size, okay lah, can accept lah, right? So those are some of the things that we need to be aware lah. And if you go to corporate property, actually I also have the 13 things that you can check when you are looking at properties, right? Including even the security guard house and things like that.
I see. All right. Yes, good. This is also the good answer from Charles for the secondary property market, right? Yeah. Okay. For the next questions, like as most of our views are from the investor perspective, we are more interested into one thing. So, when do you think the property market start to rise again?
Yeah, I think this is a question that I'm asked like 52 times every year, right? Every week, people ask me the same question. When do you think the property market will go up? Actually, whether the property market goes up or not, the property that you have may not go up. Everyone, please understand again. The property that you have, just because the property market goes up, doesn't mean your property also goes up. And the property that you have, just because the property market slows down, doesn't mean your property lose price. Does not mean so, right? This is the reason why come back to the basics. Look at the property rather than market. Because as soon as the whole market move, it's already like a little bit late lah. And this is the reason why you do your due diligence. Actually, anytime is a good time to buy. And when would the property market be recovering? If you look at the current COVID-19 situation, right, I think it will extend to quite some time more, right? At least until end of the year, at least until the vaccines are fully ready to be sent out to the world. That is very, very at least lah, right? So the property market is not going to move too fast or too fast and furious at the moment. And I guess the companies which are operating for this whole year 2020, right? I'm not sure how many can declare bonus for this year, right? Because of you lost so many months of productive business. Maybe it's going to be hard to declare bonus as well. So there's no feel good factor. When there's no feel good factor, right, the property market doesn't move a lot, right? You need a feel good factor. And then, of course, if you look at the unemployment rate, people love to love to look at unemployment rate, right? So unemployment rate in Malaysia is typically below 4%, typically. But right now it's above 4% and it's more like 5%, right? This is also another not so feel good factor, right? It's like, people, the unemployment rate from 3 point whatever percent, now it's 5%, higher, yeah, correct. But you always fail to understand that actually the property market does not depend on unemployment people, right? The property market depends on people who have a job. You get my meaning or not? Property market does not depend on people that do not have a job. Property market depends on people who have a job. Okay? And if you say 5% of people no job, how many percent of people have job?
95.
Yes, thank you very much. Right? So understand again, the whole employment market is healthy. 95%, not good, man. Good, but the sentiment is different. Ayo, 3.5, now 5%. No good lah. Yeah, nothing happens, right? But if you can see through that, right, now is the time that you go and negotiate. You tell the owner, hey, owner, look, so many people, no jobs. You quickly give me another 5% discount. The owner, okay, 5% discount. You are happy, right? Go and do that now. That now is the time. In 2012, for example, you go to the owner and say, hey, owner, you give me 5% discount. The owner put down your phone, I tell you. You understand now? It's a different situation altogether. Do not mix everything up, right? At that time, you ask them for 5%, they put down your phone. Today, you say 5%, they say, let me think about it. Yeah? So is it a good market or is it a bad market? It's a good market. Yeah, don't wait for the bad market to return. When the bad market return, then you ask the next speaker, hey, how come the price increase so fast, I told you, now it's good market, but you kept on saying it's a bad market. Then how? Then when it's a increasing market, then you say it's good market, but you cannot afford. Then how? Is it a good market or is it a bad market? What is good? What is bad? Wow, suddenly, it's like jumbled up.
Yeah.
But if you look at a property as a investment, right, as a long-term investment, actually this is a very, very compulsory investment. The reason is very simple. The rental, right? So you rent a house, right? You rent a house and you pay 1,500 rental. If you buy a house, that mortgage is 2,000. So you see, if you rent it's 1,500. If you buy it's 2,000. Why buy? You cuckoo rent 1,500, right? Wrong lah. Because when you retire, do you think your owner say, oh, Charles, you pay me rental for the last 30 years, so now you retire, never mind lah, you stay for free lah? Got that? No. When you retire, your income stops, your rental still have to pay. But if you buy a house, you pay 2,000, a little bit more. When you retire, you stop paying. And that house, you do whatever you like lah. If you want, by that time, you sell the house lah. And then you go and rent. Because at that time, sure, can rent. Because you sell the house, you go and travel, rent a room or whatever, fine, rent at that time. Not keep renting and then keep losing all the money. And then the one who is going on holiday next time is the owner lah. Right?
True. All right. Yeah, very, very good and good sharing from Charles about this. All right. Yeah. So I hope our audience, they will less likely to ask this market where to rise again, maybe. All right.
Continue asking.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, what first on the next questions, right? What are the few things that homeowners should be aware of when buying a property?
Homeowners or you mean potential buyers, lah, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first thing is don't buy because of discount. First thing, right? Because today, when the market is slow, right? A lot of the developers, a lot of the owners may just give discount, right? Do not buy because of discount. Because just because they give you 30% discount doesn't mean that it's market value. Go and look at the transactions. What was the price for the area? If the area is 500 per square feet and you're buying the property at 400 per square feet, buy, right? But if the whole area is typically 500 per square feet and this property you're buying at 700 per square feet, but they give you discount until it becomes 500 per square feet, don't buy. You are still buying based on market rate. But it is a discount, which meant that anyone can get that discount. And when the market recovers, you will realize, you last time you said 700 per square feet. Why can that never reach 700 per square feet? Of course not. It was never 700 per square feet. It was just 700 per square feet so that they can give you a big discount. That's all, right? So this is the first thing. Second thing is, do not overstretch yourself. Seriously. Actually, no one knows whether COVID-19 will come back, whether COVID-2021, for example, will be back, right? No one knows one. No one knows, right? So it's very important to buy something which you can definitely afford. And if something happens to you, at least you can still afford for a while you look for a job. Yeah. The third thing is, do not rely on just one income, right? Actually, if you look at the whole world today, the dual income people actually are increasing, not reducing, right? So think about another way that you can earn a second income, right? Even if you say you want to go and sign up as a Shopee to sell some stuff, it can be done. You know, there are so many courses out there. You just need to be able to consistently do it. Even if you say, oh, I want to learn about stock trading, and I learn stock trading so that I can trade at night, you know, in some markets which are open when Malaysia is closed. Fine, learn about it, right? Or you say during the weekend, I want to go and drive Grab. Fine, go and do something about it. However, if we do not do anything about it and we only watch Korean drama every single day, actually we don't gain anything, right? I'm not sure there's any job which says you watch Korean drama and then you tell a story about Korean drama and then you earn money. If there is, then okay, fine. But otherwise, no, right? And then probably the fourth thing is we need to understand investment. Personal finance is super important nowadays, yeah, because many of us can earn money. Actually, a lot of us are very capable, you know. Especially the millennials, they are so capable, they are so fast, they learn so fast, and they go up the position very fast. But actually, they lack one thing, which is the personal finance part. If you do not know how to manage your finance and increase the returns from whatever you have, earning doesn't help you a lot. Because the more you earn, actually, the more you spend as well. You think, I earn so much, now I can buy the 4,500 handphone. Actually, yeah, in the end, it becomes nothing. So, a couple of things that you can just think about before you buy a property. It's not just the property part that you need to think about, it's also the other non-property part that you need to think about. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's proceed to the last question from our end here. So do you have any tips that you could share to the crowd, to our audience, on how to pay their loans faster?
Yeah, okay. So if you want to pay your loans faster, right? You just go Google and you type in pay your loans faster. Actually, there are a lot of all these mortgage brokers or you know, mortgage advisors that they have their own program on helping you to pay the loan faster. Of course, the usual way is to tell the bank that, hey, I have one lump sum of amount of money. Can I just dump it in and reduce my principal? Of course, that is one way lah. That is a typical way, right? There are also other ways that if the mortgage advisor may advise you, okay, this one, if instead of 30 years, you want to reduce 20 years, this is how you should pay. You just follow, right? That will be a more strategic way. But if you want a usual way is you have a lot of money, dump it in, then your principal reduce, right? And when your
Yes.
principal reduce, then generally you pay less, you pay faster, and I mean you can get the house become yours faster lah, because otherwise it still belongs to the bank lah. Yeah. So this is one of the thing, and then of course, how do you get the big chunk of payment, right? Reduce the expenses, definitely can one. My like every morning, if you go to have a cup of nice latte, which is 13 ringgit and 50 cents. Think about it. Probably you can get the kopi off for 180, or even kopi for 250. Can lah, can do that, right? On a daily basis, if you save 10 ringgit, that's a 300. On a yearly basis, 3,600 already, right? 10 years, actually you have 36,000 to dump into your principal already. And this is just from one drink, right? We are not talking about all the other savings yet. Yeah. Can do. Actually, if you want to, or you don't want to lah. And then, if you want to spend your time, you want to exercise, there's also the park to run lah. It doesn't need to be a fitness gym where you pay 300 per month. Yeah, actually can save a lot of money, right? Or if you say, I want to save more money, actually do not need to go for overseas vacation. Can always go to some nice hotel within Malaysia rather than fly over, and buy so many things. Can still do. Actually, a lot of things we can do lah in order to increase that lump sum of money to put in principal. But generally, the first thing is what I mentioned earlier lah. Don't buy so expensive, right? If you don't buy so expensive, then there is lesser need for you to think about trying to pay fast when you don't buy so expensive. Yeah.
All right. Great tips from Charles for this. How to pay a loan faster. All right. Yeah. So I mean our interview questions have been finished. So maybe we pick some questions from the floor and you answer them. All right, Charles?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I saw this one question about this. Yeah, one question, Charles. Usually if we buy one house, the loan stretch to 20, 30 years, right? Can change house like so often. It's like won't the loan pile out like a mountain, like just now you mentioned you keep on the moving house, right?
Yeah.
So
Zinger, very good name. I think you like Zinger Burger, right? So anyway, the important point that we have to understand here is that house, if we bought the right one, right, it will increase in price. Of course, it won't suddenly double in price, but it will increase in price. So what happened is that, for example, my first house, right? My first house was an apartment, 700 square feet, 123,000. My second condo, first condo, my second property, which is my first condo, is 247,000, right? So what happened to the first house then when I moved to the new condo? The first house is rented out. See or not? So Zinger, actually you're not paying for two houses, you're paying for one house, which is your condo. Your first house, you're rented out already, right? And then how did I afford to buy the next house then? Actually, I sold my my first house. And when I sold my first house, then I get a lump sum of money, right? Which I can then use for the third property. So this is how people continue to use property in order to increase their investments in property as well. And it is very, very probable for you to actually have 5 properties, but actually you're only paying for one after a while, right? But this is one of the key things that just need to continue understanding that if I enter right, that means I do not simply buy a property, and I buy a property which everyone also likes, not just me. Then actually when you move out, this property that everybody likes, you can rent it out as well. And at that time, actually you have an advantage, because when you rent it out at that time, you are renting it out at fully furnished because you stayed before, right? So my first apartment, I actually rented out fully furnished, right? Even the towel and cha also got, right? The fork and spoon also, I leave to you, everything fully furnished, right? So when you rent out fully furnished, you also get a premium price, which is good for you. And you do realize that the rental will also move slowly over the years, right? So if you have bought a property at 2,000, right? And then when you move out at 2006, When you rent out that property at that time, actually the rental has already increased slightly, and probably you will have a positive return. So the money that you pay to the bank is actually lower than the rental that you get, but it's not immediate, right? If you look at the market today, you can't do that easily unless you manage to find the under below market value property. Otherwise, you cannot do that. But yeah, it can be done, right? And I did not change the house so often. I changed house like probably 20 over years. I've moved house 4 times. Not a lot, not a lot. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Jinka, I hope Charles answered your questions. All right. So let's move for the last questions. All right, Josh.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah, I saw these questions. Hi, if an auctioneer delay auction time allow a customer show cash, but not count to join auction, what other participant can do if see this happen?
Uh,
Understand this question?
yeah, I think this one you will need to bring up to the owner of the property that you are that is being auctioned, because this one I think better don't simply comment unless I know the full details of it lah. But generally, the auction at that time, actually the auctioneer have a lot of flexibility lah, right? So for example, the auctioneer, if it's a public kind of event, the auctioneer can even say, I want to start the price to 20,000 up, for example. They can also do that, right? But this one, I think better go back to the owner of the property that being auctioned. You tell the owner, right? So if it's a bank auction, you tell the bank. If it's a private owner auction, you tell the private owner at that time that this was happening. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Charles, for answering this. So William, hope Charles answered your questions, and maybe you may find out another answers by yourself if there's more details. All right. Yeah. So Charles, it's come to the end of our interview session today. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Charles, for sharing a lot of knowledges and a lot of infos about this property market for us, especially to our audience, all the friends, our fans, right? Yeah. So thanks for your sharing today, and we hope everything. I mean, you do everything. Everything goes well to you. All
Yeah,
right.
I think everyone should just take care lah. Now especially with the
Yeah,
case
COVID.
increasing, right? Yeah,
Yes,
better take care. So this wealth creation summit also good because it's done virtual, so
yes.
nothing can happen, right? Yeah, which is good. Actually, a lot of events got cancelled. So there was supposed to be some award dinner this couple of weekends. Is all postponed already. Yeah, I think just be safe, and that would be the best. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So everybody stay safe lah, including Charles as well. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for spending your time with us today. During this weekend with us for this 1 hour sharing a lot of knowledge. All right. Yeah. So I mean it's come to the end of session today. Yeah. Thank you, Charles, and I would like to maybe put you down. All right. Thank you, Charles. Have a good day, Charles. Bye bye.